All right, so I love destroying people's arguments. I'm gonna try to keep this video concise. So my last talk on AC Shadows was the community fallout and how people were sort of reacting to this game, going into people's live streams like Fighting Cowboy and attacking him because he was playing the game, having a playthrough, and there was this argument in his stream about race. And I've noticed in comment sections like Digital Foundry and whatnot, just assessing the game and seeing how it runs, there are these weird comment chains where people like to go off and have a tirade in there and have a little cry because of AC Shadows and them not liking it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna tackle the community fallout, give my opinion, say how people are acting a little bit too over excessive and very vitriolic over the fact that some people actually do like this game and they're going out of their way to hound and torment and witch hunt and harass those people, which is not good at all, in my personal opinion. Then what they tend to argue a lot in my comment section is the idea of sales, because that is the only hope, that is the only salvation that these people have to cling to, so they can say if the sales is bad, then all the other shit does not matter, with some of the positive reception and how some people like it. And it's like, now we have an update from someone who has tracked NPD numbers, and it says that Assassin's Creed Shadows has been the best-selling video game in the US for each of its 3 weeks in the market, according to Circana's retail tracking service, dollar sales, latest data through April 5th. And that is a huge detail, right? It currently ranks as the #2 best-selling video game for 3 straight weeks, only trailing behind Monster Hunter Wilds. Impressive. That is impressive to anyone who knows the realm of business. That is good. That is actually good that it's the #2 best-selling video game and it's a consistent thing throughout the past 3 weeks already. So we have the actual real numbers from NPD, and we use NPD in console wars for the longest time. Circana, you can see their mission statement here. They were formerly IRI and NPD, and they have like 7,000 brands and retailers that analyzes data and they advise data. This is a legitimate company. You go to their Wikipedia, is worse, because they've been tracking video game stats right here, the NPD, since 1995. And guess what? I have a dumb fuck in my comment section trying to argue that the data depends on the people collecting it. That the data depends on the people collecting it. This NPD group that counts all sales, including digital markets as well. I looked that up, by the way. It's real dollar data across the board from brick and mortar stores and online purchases. Why do you think that the NPD counts console sales bought from online markets? You're losing this debate badly. Stop typing you're an idiot, all right? And we have someone admitting they was wrong. NPD tracks physical and digital full video game sales. It does not include micros. So the micro store for Assassin's Creed Shadows is like left off the picture. We're talking about Steam, Xbox, and PS5. And you, the dumbass in the comment section, you're talking about Steam has no reason to lie, just going off a specific chart of Steam players and that's it. But that is not players like that is sold or whatever. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but it's not a majority metric of all the players that are on console, which you are failing to count, right? And I know player count means maybe someone got a code for free. I understand that. Maybe that's not a unit sold. I understand that. I said that countless times, but for it to be in best selling, #2 means that a lot of units sold well only behind Monster Hunter Wilds. Now I know people are gonna say they're gonna move the goalposts and whatnot. They're gonna talk about stocks like this guy. They're gonna talk about a whole bunch of shit like, oh, Ubisoft stocks has plummeted. They were bought 25% by Tencent. That's a hostile takeover, even though that's not a hostile takeover to have 25% of the company. Hostile would be 50%, 60, 70, 80, 100, like a huge source of assets going to your other company, meaning that you can control whatever the fuck you want. 25% is not 100, 80, 70, 60. You know the lingo. If you know business, you know the lingo. A real takeover is something like Microsoft and how they bought Activision Blizzard and how they bought Bethesda. They own all of the debts and they own all of the company, and they could do whatever they want with Activision or Bethesda. So when you equate and compare, and you guys love to compare and contrast, that's not a 100% takeover at 25. That is moronic. That is idiotic. We're talking about stocks being down. The stocks are down. I thought we were talking about the video game actually being best-selling for 3 weeks straight. And you guys were saying, oh, it's all denial, it's all this, it's all that. 3 million players, it's not all sold. Well, now you have your actual data from MPD, Circana.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
What career?
But I'm not a rapper.
What career?
Look.
You gotta point at it. Here it is.
Boom. Bam. Bop. Bada bop. Boom. Pow.
Number one is, I find it weird you're trying to argue the fact that, oh, well, it's something that only counts brick and mortar stores. That's the 1% of sales and everything, when you're probably grossly wrong on that. But also, here's the data that MPD does count digital data from sharing publishers. They have to include them before going through MPD. And this is the evidence. It's an older sheet from February 2025, but you get the general gist. Ubisoft is included right at the bottom where it says include eShop sales on digital, include PlayStation, include Steam, include Xbox. It's all right here. And Ubisoft has been including them for a while, right? Otherwise, if there was any sort of inconsistency, one of these will be blank, but they're not. All four right here included. And the upcoming MPD for AC Shadows is coming from March to April 5th. It's going to be April 23rd when those numbers finally release. And then the MPD after that from April 6th to May 3rd, May 21st, that is going to release. Don't get too upset when you see AC Shadows on either one or two of these lists. This also comes from Matt Paisatella himself, the executive director and video game industry analyst at Circana MPD, with access to this pool, with access to if they can include digital full games or not, with access to this data and information, formerly part of Activision and Warner Brother Games. This is not coming from some random bum in the street posting numbers. This is from a director, an executive at Circana. Or did I say Circana? If I say Circana, I apologize throughout the recording. I don't know their official fucking name or how to pronounce it, but he is the executive director at the MPD. Meaning it's not some bum giving these numbers. It's kind of a deal. If they are an expert analyst at getting raw dollar amounts from brick and mortar and digital sales, then they are the only ones that are gathering that information to some sort of precision. Even Jason Schreier quotes them and follows them from Bloomberg, and so does a lot of people in the industry. And so does a lot of people on YouTube that gets their numbers from the MPD, because it definitely ain't from VG charts. Again, dollar amounts through digital and physical sales, not microtransactions. It's a thread here of people all talking about it. You can go and look it up. They're all talking about it. DLC being tracked. I know AC Shadows is having that clause of a Waji DLC, whatever it's called, so maybe that will be tracked separately if it's paid for. I don't know if it's going to be free or paid for. I have no idea. But once again, people, and we use MPD in console wars all of the time to track data. They've been around for the longest time. Circana is legit. They are legitimate. Their website legit. Everything is legitimate. These are actual state-of-the-art data technology gatherers of sales and tracking, and they have like 7,000 brands, big brands, McDonald's, fucking 7-Eleven, even more that I don't see on this list. People talking about them in good faith. They are an in-store test using real data, dollar sales to predict the impact. We learned a lot through the project and the partnership with Circana. For you to say the data depends on people collecting it, you are in complete, absolute denial, bro. It's like you are trying to chew an anvil like a cartoon character, and your teeth is shattering because you can't accept reality. And the only reason I bring up sales is because you guys brought that up in my comment sections when I wasn't talking about sales. I don't give a shit if a video game sells well or not. To me, it's like, it's all about the quality of said video game. AC Shadows, I played it. I gave it a fair shake. I enjoyed it. That's simple. Like, sales is for the publisher to worry about. It does not diminish the quality aspects, or it does not bleed into the quality aspects all of the time for a video game. Is there certain situations where people will be like, oh, a game is like a 5 or a 3, that's trash, I'm not buying it? But that is the exception to the rule, right? We've seen good games fail. We've seen bad games succeed. Sales is a very unpredictable market for most of the occasion. So why are you on this specific tirade saying that, oh, well, because I don't like this video game, I hope it doesn't sell well, and I'm going to stick to this narrative? No. The reality is, this game, with most critics, got an 8. And now it is one of the best-selling video games in the United States for 3 weeks in a row. And the US is, you know, for video games, that's pretty big. That's pretty huge, man. You can move the goalpost to say, oh, Japan, but then let's have some research here. Hold on, I'm gonna have some fun with this, since there's gonna be people that move the goalpost. In the UK, AC Shadows has been doing well. It says, in terms of physical sales, AC Shadows is the biggest UK game launched this year, comfortably ahead of Monster Hunter Wilds. It also sold more box copies in 1 week than Star Wars Outlaws managed to do in 3 months. Now, you can say Star Wars Outlaws was a failure of sales, but this game sold way more than Outlaws, and it is selling according to the same like sort of metric and data as, I think, Odyssey, but it's short of Valhalla. And this is going steady. It's just shy ahead of Monster Hunter. And look at this fucking moron right here arguing with Christopher. It's ahead of Monster Hunter Wilds. AC Shadows just peaked on 65 players concurrent on Steam. Again, not counting the Ubisoft Play launcher as well, which is another indicator, not counting Xbox, not counting PS5. Just that peak of 65 5K players on Steam. That's the only fucking thing people can cling to. And this guy has to correct this idiot and say, I'm talking about UK physical sales. I'm being pretty clear on that. And this dude is still, come on, like, I believe you can read. Try again. It's like, you can't pay attention. You people have the reading comprehension of a dead goldfish. Like, seriously, all right? And this is the type of argumentation you're making over the NPD in the US? Counting the actual numbers worldwide. And the UK is also doing really well with AC Shadows. Like, come on, bro. Just take the L. Like, take the L, please. Please take it. Just take it. Like, I would rather you take the L diligently and dislike the game over just being a dribbling moron chewing on his underwear in a straitjacket, trying so hard to say in other regions like the US and the UK that the game is a failure. Stop. Just stop. Save your sanity, for the love of God. You guys struck out with this one, and all you were bringing up was sales, right? Now you're bringing up moving the goalposts. Like, this guy talking about stock. We're not talking about stock, bro. Or like, Circana is legit. We're not talking about stock. And then he went to comment like an old post. So you commented 3 times. Well, I commented twice to show that data that Circana was legitimate. And I can even rationalize and put hypotheticals out there and say, in a hypothetical scenario, like if AC Shadows release near GTA 6, I can see that game bombing. I put the hypothetical out there for you so it would make sense, and you still don't fucking get it. And like I said before, Tencent owning Ubisoft 25%, that is not 100%. That is not even remotely equivalent to a hostile takeover. You guys don't know business. You are armchair sales analysts and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what's going on right now. 100% takeover is when Microsoft once again acquired Bethesda and fucking what else? Bethesda and Activision Blizzard. I keep forgetting about Activision. I am sorry, but when they acquired them, they took all the assets, the debt, etc. for themselves. That's a 100% takeover. At that point, you could say Tencent finally owns the whole company of Ubisoft when they take 100%. 25% is not 100. So that means Ubisoft still has creative freedom there, while Tencent gets money and funds money back to the company, but they don't own all of the debt. You know, it's just enough to keep them afloat for their next project. And if AC is doing well, then I mean, it's doing well. It was never going to 100% save the company. I said that before. AC Shadows was not going to 100% save them from getting slightly acquired by Tencent, right? It's all managerial stuff, the layoffs and whatnot. So now this is not bankruptcy either. Now they're being like partially owned by another company, and it's not 100%. But they are getting money, funding. They're going to continue to make AC games. They're going to put their lineup right at maximum with AC, Far Cry, and what is the other IP that they mentioned that was big? Rainbow Six. And that's how they're gonna try to show, hey, we can make a lot here. We got Rainbow Six Siege X coming out. We're gonna make some fucking killings on these micros. People buy that stuff. I mean, Siege was successful, so I mean, it's like, it is what it is. You can't really deny the facts there either. It was a very successful shooter, and I'm not surprised it's getting an update to a very successful shooter. And if people want to play it, and if it is successful like the very successful shooter, then I mean, just give them the win. They won there, you know. Companies will have wins and losses all the time. This is really nothing new, but I just can't believe you guys are so hard pressed to not really understand business, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. You cried bankruptcy for the longest time, and it seems like it's not happening, right? This deal sort of is continuing the company. You're talking about stocks and whatnot. I'm not talking about stocks. I'm talking about the #2 best-selling video game on the market for 3 straight weeks with no other competition outside of Monster Hunter. #2 is still good. I'm gonna move the goalpost. So Monster Hunter is like way better in sales. No shit. Like Monster Hunter World sold like what, 20 million as a singular unit last time. Of course, Monster Hunter Wilds was gonna be successful no matter what. Like, but #2 is still a lot. And you guys saying, oh, it flopped or whatever. I guess you have to eat that crow for 3 straight consistent weeks. It didn't flop, so I guess you have to eat that crow. And I know that's very hard for you to chew into denial and accept the L, but it is what it is. Hey, games I don't like, they sell well all the time. Dark Souls sells well all the time. I don't like Dark Souls, all right? But one thing I never argue is that it doesn't sell well. I can feel about the game however I want quality wise, but I can never say that it doesn't sell well, except reality. I'll even sweeten the deal for people because people will move goalposts, they will cherry pick, they will make bad argumentation, they'll focus on something else that's not really relevant to saying this game is a flop, right? If you feel that way, if you feel like you can argue against the actual statistical data of the NPD group, then I would love to hear it. I would love to see how sane or how psychobabble your arguments can really get. So I am taking free arguments. If you go crazy, I'm gonna laugh at you because that's kind of what I do. I like to make a mockery. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna completely treat you with kid gloves if you won't give me the same courtesy. So you might be laughed at, put live on air, named and shamed, but I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? This is free entertainment for the people. So we can have live debates, I can record it, and it'll be totally fine. I will want to hear your side if you're so hard pressed about this to not accept the numbers coming from NPD, when, like I said, we use that all the time to gauge console data and sales for a video game. So I don't know what has changed now if people are going against NPD, right? It seems insane. That's insane to me, but you know what? You can explain your insanity to me. My Discord is Renegade, Operative. I don't mute anyone. I will listen. I'm not like that bitch Remnant where it's like, oh, Renegade mutes people. I've never muted anyone in any vocal debate ever, all right? I'll listen to what you have to say. And if you believe that you have great argumentation about going against the NPD, then please explain it to me, because I could have sworn for every single moment in every single console war, in every single stat, in every single debate that people have used video game sales, the NPD was bought up, no matter what it was. So to find people thinking the NPD is not legitimate, it's fascinating to me. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, Chief. Let's see how that goes. So explain that to me. Discord, Renegade, Operative. No space between Renegade or Operative, just the full word munched together, and we can talk about this one-on-one, mano-y-mano, content made for content. I've already had one guy rage quit a debate. Please explain this, because I don't get this nut job logic that people are on, and I might need some further explanation. So please add me. The great debate day is on, and I will see you guys next time. Later.